Всем приветик, дорогие друзья, и вы снова на канале Кацу Games. Мы продолжаем проходить игру Alan Wake. И вы сейчас не поверите, у меня крашнулась запись. Я сидела, играла, а она берет и крашится. Ну, игра просто сообщает об ошибке и вылетает. И вместе с ней запись. Так что, если вы думаете, что я там заранее тренировалась, нет. У меня крашнулась запись. Так, мы... Вот тут я уже была. Вот видела вот эти вот эти вот стрелочки светящиеся. О. Вот.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
И да, я знаю то, что там сейчас меня впереди ожидает целая куча врагов. И поэтому я не убираю ракетницу. И я знаю то, что вот там нет ни хренасеньки. Но тут вот туда вот они сейчас появляются, и на этом моменте у меня просто обрывается запись. Я всех убила? О-о-о! Перезарядить. Супер. Пока пистолет возьмем в руки. Что за звуки? А, да, я еще тут целую тираду говорила, то, что я такая прям вообще не боюсь ничего. И то, что мне не страшно. Он тут берет и крашается запись, блин. О, дробовик! У меня есть дробовик. Так, что это нужно? Это, наверное, это сейчас мы откроем. Так, сейчас все сделаем. Использовать.
Science. It bestows immortality on those who advance it to elevate all of mankind. Newton, Einstein, Sagan, princes among men. But the price for such a legacy is steep indeed. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a quantum suicide. If our lives are already written, it would take a courageous man to change the script. Having called a press conference, Dr. Barclay Colvin is about to demonstrate that very courage.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I am Dr. Barclay Colvin, and I'm glad so many of you could join me here at the Moorcock Institute. Tonight, I'm going to give a practical demonstration of the many worlds interpretation. As you can see, this is a loaded 9mm pistol. It shall be part of a thought experiment. And now, a real experiment, known as a quantum suicide.
Did he say suicide? Is that a real gun? He's kidding, right?
Please, stay calm. There is no risk. Observe what occurs when I place the weapon against my own forehead. Now, you might think this round is merely a dud. Not so. Observe the flower pot. And yet, I myself cannot be harmed with this gun. With each pull of the trigger, two new realities branch off. One in which the weapon didn't fire, and one where it did. With my machine here, I have ensured that this reality is always the former. I have bestowed upon myself quantum immortality. Under no circumstances can this gun kill me.
So wait. What you're saying is that every time you pull the trigger, in another reality, you die?
Yes, of course, but that's completely trivial. There's an infinite number of things that could happen at any moment, and they always do happen somewhere. The point is, this one thing did not happen here.
You're insane, Colvin.
Insane? insane?
Hey, was this thing supposed to be plugged in? I stumbled on it.
You fools! Gaze upon quantum immortality.
Poor Dr. Colvin, felled by his own hubris or the ignorance of the masses. Perhaps he should have left the crate unopened, the decaying atom unobserved. Curiosity often kills the cat. Night Springs.
Сказать, что я нахожусь в каком-то шоке, это, наверное, ничего не сказать. Я сейчас правильно поняла, это как сериал раньше был очень, ну, кто не так молод, поймет то, что такое сериал, и там тоже такие всякие истории мелкие были. По типу как, ну, не байки из склепа. Ну, короче, прикольно. Так, что я сделала? Что я сделала? Не знаю. Погнали. Мы дверь открыли. Я открыла вот эту... Ой-ой-ой, рукопись. Нам нужна наша рукопись взять. Так, ну что? Судя по всему, я должна вот это, да? И что я опять сделала? Какая-то хрень тут. Ну, сейчас опять начнется. Я прям чувствую. Все. А где он? Орёт-то. Я не могу понять, где он. Это, наверное, может, как мини-босс, что ли, какой-то будет сейчас? Да. Нет? Все сдохли? Ого! Ай! Ах ты, тварь, а! Да что ж такое-то? Ай, блин, нет, нет, нет! Так. Берем ракетницу. Блин, нет, давайте приберегу ракетницу. Так, для револьвера. А что они не появляются? Он должен говорить. Не могу понять, а что я зависла, что ли, типа? Вот. А что это? А, я же отвернулась.
Stucky's body vanished, leaving behind only a lifetime of nightmares to come. Assuming I'd reach the lights at the gas station alive.
Это, знаете, это как когда ночью встаешь там это, водички попить или в туалет, и в темноте такими перебежками от света к свету бежишь иногда. Вот то же самое. Так, все, достигнуто предельное количество. Ну что, погнали дальше. Что мы тут видим? А ни хренасеньки мы тут не видим. Нам нужно, кстати, в каждую закоулку заглянуть, потому что могут быть тут рукописи. Мы и так уже, ну не мы, а я просрали целое количество их. Угу. Использовать. Открыли. Сейчас я вот тут еще гляну. Нет, ничего. Чего нету? Ща. Ай, не падай. Лучше беги. О, кофе. Я не знаю, что это кофе дает, но... Так, ну, короче, тут нет ничего. Дышит. Нет, ничего нету. Ладно. Погнали дальше. А есть где... А, ну хотя у меня полный... О, заправка. Мы ее достигли?
I recognized the parade float I had seen in Bright Falls when I first arrived with Alice.
Окей. Ничего. Ну, давай. Ну, давай, ты же мужик. Ты можешь подпрыгнуть чуть выше. Так, а как нам теперь к ней забраться? Ничего не светится? Нет, ничего не светится. Так.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting. At least for a moment, the sane world reasserted itself.
Так, ладно. А, ну вот типа это... О, ну-ка. Новый листок рукописи.
The Deer Fest had been 2 weeks away when we arrived. If the day count on the banner was right, I was missing a whole week between the night we got here and now.
Что там такое светится? Кофе. Угу. Кофе, это, наверное, как стамина, что ли. Нельзя забраться на оленя.
I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
Ладно. Раз он нам тонко намекает, значит мы идем. А ну-ка, дайте мы сначала сзади пробежим. Я знаю то, что нужно вовнутрь, наверное, зайти, начнется какая-нибудь кансцена или еще что-нибудь. А, вумен. Нет, закрыто. Закрыто. Так, ладно, сортиры закрыты. Окей. Ну, значит, пока только сюда. А, закрыто. Почему свет мигает? Так, тут тоже, значит, через эту. Угу. Да.
The garage was a mess. It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
I'll write. I'll keep writing. Outside there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the story, there's only darkness. I can feel her presence in the dark. Just now, I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her, I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back. The story will come true. If I stop, she's lost.
I don't believe this. It'd been me on the TV, talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
Вполне возможно, Алан, вполне возможно, что ты сошел с ума, как и весь этот мир. Так, окей, телефончик. У нас есть телефон. Ну-ка, читать. 68-й ежегодный день оленя с 15 по 18 июля. Игры и развлечения, лотерея, рыбалка. Ну, короче, понятно, это типа объявление какое-то, да? Так, а может тут еще что-нибудь есть? Нет, наверное, тут только телефон. Special offers is there. Угу. Ну ладно. Используем.
Great Falls Sheriff Station.
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker. You are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
Listen.
We'll figure this out. Please get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay? Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
I realized I couldn't tell her what had happened in the forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
Типа мы сейчас, наверное, пролог прошли, да? Че, машины нет, что ли? А, домика нету. И острова. Прикольно, конечно, да, прикольно, очень прикольно. Так, давайте, значит, почитаем рукописи. Кошмар. Так, это мы читали, это мы славно про Е. Дальше, значит, Wake находит страницы.
The book I couldn't remember was either a terrible and true prophecy or an act of creation that had rewritten the world.
Так, стоп, мы это читали уже. О, мы не нашли только 4. Ну, в принципе, это достижение, господа, достижение. Так, Уэйк лежит ждет шерифу.
She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help. but I couldn't tell her the truth of what I'd faced the previous night. She'd think I was lying or crazy. She'd lock me up, and she wouldn't help me find Alice. Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling, caught his attention. Stucky looked up and stared as his brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the unrelenting darkness engulfed him. Rose knew she had been gushing, but right now she didn't care. As far as she was concerned, her brief meeting with Alan Wake was literally the high point of her life. She watched as he got in the car with his wife. She was pretty, confident, at ease with Wake. Not like Rose. They were perfect for each other. She'd have given anything to be called their friend. Barry Wheeler was bouncing off the walls. He jumped on a plane after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon, but Barry didn't buy it. Al had been way too unstable for that, not sleeping, messed up. Barry had years of experience dealing with Alan Wake, and he couldn't ignore it. Something was wrong.
А, это может быть типа уровень сложности у нас другой. Ну ладно, так. Чё, поехали дальше, наверное. Так. Ну, посмотрим. Значит, получается, что у нас? У нас получается такая ситуация. Пропала наша жена. Так, давайте пропустим.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it. God damn it, Alice.
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at, but the cabin had disappeared.
А, то есть мы ее так и не нашли. Только хотела рассказать, а там уже за нас эта игра сделала то, что было. То, что было. Как постарел. Это же он? Или не он?
Honey, I'm home.
Back here, sweetie. How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up. Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Так, надо включить кофеварку. Какой-то... Ой, странный геймплей. Так, где кухня? Ну, кстати, ничего, такая квартирка. Мне кажется, по меркам Нью-Йорка это вообще офигенная она, да? Нельзя прочитать? Нет, нельзя. Так, а где... А, вот, кофеварка. Включить.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Кофеиновый маньяк, да? Да, я тоже люблю кофе. Так, сейчас, подожди, подойдем к Элис обязательно, только прогуляемся по квартире. Ну-ка, а там прорисован. А, не видно. Хитрюки какие. Угол обзора просто сделали маленький и все. Ну ладно. А мы можем в другие комнаты? О, тут есть еще другая комната. Так, страница рукописи. Смотреть. Алан Вейк. Ну, кстати, не так много книжек. А, он типа детективы, да, пишет? Ну, раз у него там награда с какими-то пистолетами.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Я только что подходила к столу, не было там никаких макетов. Что ты врешь? Взяла, подложила, да? Ну так.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called. Alan! Alan, please check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Бегу, дорогая, бегу. Вот.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay.
Ну, тут-то
Hi.
фонарик лучше.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
How do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
Я думаю, по участку не надо ходить. А, нет, стоп, это не она.
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
I don't have the luxury of being complacent, Deputy Grant. The bulbs will need changing soon. You can't change them in the dark.
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now.
Very good. I'll come back later on to remind you, just in case.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor. That was Cynthia Weaver. I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
Немного ли людей тут пропало? Так, шериф Брейкер. Ну-ка, тут нельзя ничего, нет. Ну ладно, погнали к ней.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with
Don't do
anything?
nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
I couldn't go anywhere yet.
Mr. Wake,
I had
you
to
can
play
get
along
down
with the
through cell
caller.
corridor.
Alice's life was at stake.
I need some fresh air. Can I go out? In the back, maybe?
Of course, Mr. Wake. I understand. You can get there through the cells. Deputy Grant can show you the way.
I'm sorry. All of this, it's just a lot to take in.
Take your time, Mr. Wake. I understand. Can I ask you what the call was about, Mr. Wake?
It's personal.
Well, we are looking for your wife, and I'm going to need your cooperation if I'm going to help you.
I need a moment, after I get some fresh air.
Okay. You can find me here. We'll talk when you feel up to it.
Так, типа идем на задний двор, да? Там закрыто. А как? А.
Hey, hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I needed to... Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're all right. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different.
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Так. В дыру. А, туда, типа в огород, что ли, какой-то? Погнали. А как мне туда?
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car. Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me. This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge. It had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
Понятно. Угу. Так, осматриваем разбитую машину. А, типа... А, не мою. А, вот. Стопе. Что тут?
Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. Well, I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Вот, наверное, рукопись. Да.
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Так. Значит, у нас задание выйти из участка шерифа.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Marvelous, Sarah. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any...
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh! Hey! Oh, my!
Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him!
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow, I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you. And she was very helpful when I was looking for you. Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No!
Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice,
Do you
and everything's
understand
just...
what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Что там за чувак? А. Собачку лечит? Или что он с ней делает? Ну да, лечит. Итак, ребят, давайте, наверное, пока на этом прервемся. Надеюсь, что вы досмотрели до конца. Вам понравилось. Обязательно подписывайтесь, рассказывайте друзьям, ставьте лайки. И всем пока-пока.